The Chargers are back, yeah. The Chargers are back. Welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. Say what's up to Stacy, the host. Always keeping it real though. Rocking with the Chargers since 78. From San Diego up to 5 now LA State. Powder blues clean. Don't let the colors fool you. Jim Harbaugh running the show. Yeah, the coach is brutal. Back to back double-digit wins. Set the tone. Lost a few pieces, but we locked in. Fully loaded zone. Eyes on the future. Yeah, we speak it into heaven. Super Bowl is so far. 2027. I'm saying your team sidelines nervous. Yeah, they know what it be. Mike McDaniel in the offense scheming like demons, huh? Chris O'Leary in the building. Defense! Defense! Yeah, 3 about to tell us what this team really meant. Playoff run longer, yeah, we put them to sleep. If you want Chargers everything, this is the place to be. Chargers Talk 4630. Nobody's got it better than us. Make sure and subscribe. Enjoy the show.
This episode of Chargers Talk 4630 is brought to you by Zevo Life, the exclusive patented superfood changing the way people fuel their bodies. Now listen, if you're looking for a game-changing way to improve your health, Zevo Life is the world's most nutrient-dense whole plant. We're talking over 50% plant protein, essential amino acids, fiber, and powerful antioxidants, all in one natural source. Just 1 teaspoon a day supports your gut, boosts your energy, and promotes healthier skin and hair. And the best part, people everywhere are giving it a 5-star review because it works. So if you're ready to feel the difference, head over to Zevo.life and start your journey with their 30-day risk-free guarantee. And because you're a loyal listener of this podcast, you get an exclusive 30% discount. Just use my code ChargeTalk4630 at checkout. That's without the R. That's ChargeTalk4630. Take control of your health today with Zevo Life. Your body will thank you. Hello and welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. I'm Stacy. And as always, I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in today. Now, before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, share this episode, and subscribe to this channel so you can never miss an update. And if you're on the go, you can catch Chargers Talk 4630 wherever you get your podcasts. We are on all major platforms. Now, real quick, I also want to let you know something about what I've been up to. I created my own website called SLM Expressions, and it really represents everything I got going on right now. Now, for those who may not know, I'm a music producer and songwriter. I have my own record label called SLM Music. I'm also an author with multiple books out. And of course, you know me from this podcast covering the team that I love, the Los Angeles Chargers. But I'm also expanding. I've got a new podcast coming real soon called Real Conversations, where I'll be talking about things beyond football, real life topics, real discussions. And on top of all that, I built my own community chat space where you can come in, ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with not just me, but with others as well. I'm in there actively engaging, I'm responding to everyone, and I'm building something real. I wanted to take this beyond YouTube, beyond just football, and really create a space where everything connects. So when you go to www.slmexpressions.com, you're going to find breaking news and updates. You're going to find Chargers content and discussions, previews of my music and my books, and a growing community where your voice matters. And the best part, no subscriptions, no usernames, no emails, no passwords. Just pull up and join the conversation and be a part of what we're building. And if you support me here, I know you'll rock with me over there too. Now, breaking news came out late Saturday night that former Cleveland Browns tight end David Njoku is visiting the Chargers as we speak in Los Angeles today. So maybe by the time we're done with this podcast, there's a possibility that we can break it right here live if the signing takes place. So for now, let's get into today's topic. Now that I've had about a week to really sit back, watch some film, go through scouting reports, and really digest what the Chargers did in this draft, I wanted to come on and give my full thoughts on it. And overall, I think the draft was solid. Let's start with the first-round pick, Akeem Mesidor. This is a guy, when you turn the film on, he jumps out at you immediately, right? He has a high motor. He's a highly productive pass rusher. He's physical against the run. Just one of those guys that just stands out, right? And what I really liked about him, he played his best football down the stretch into the playoffs, and that matters. He finished his last season with 12 and a half sacks. And when you read the scouting reports, the one thing that keeps coming up is that he's smart and instinctive. Now, I still see people on TV and radio still start off their conversation about Akeem by talking about his age. And the way I see it, If he plays out his rookie contract at 4 years, he'll be about 29 years old. So what's the problem? You're getting a mature player ready to come in and make an immediate impact. And for what I've seen, this is a young man coming from Canada who's going to walk into that building with the right mindset and the right attitude. You put him on the line with Khalil Mack and Tui Tuipulotu, that's a group that's going to generate a lot of pressure, period. Then you look at the rest of the draft, and it's very clear what the mission was. The Chargers attacked the offensive line, and they had to, right? Injuries destroyed that unit last year, and Justin Herbert took way too many hits. So what did they do? They draft 4 offensive linemen. Jake Slaughter in the second round out of Florida, very athletic, very smart interior lineman. Then you bring in Travis Burke, a big physical tackle out of Memphis. And later in the 6th round, you add Logan Taylor from Boston College and Alex Harkey from Oregon. Now, realistically, you want all of them to hit. But if 2 of those guys turn into solid contributors, that's a win. And that's depth. That's protection. That's how you keep your quarterback upright. And that's clearly what this organization is trying to do. Now, when I look at the bigger picture, I also see a little bit of influence in this draft. I know Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz is running the show, but there are certain picks where you say Mike McDaniel has something to do with that, because when you draft a guy like Brennan Thompson, who ran a 4.2, and by the way, that was the fastest player in the draft, you can't help but think about where McDaniel came from, right? Miami. Then you think about Tyreek Hill. Then you think about speed. Now, I'm not saying Thompson is Tyreek Hill, but he's got traits. He's got that kind of speed that changes how defense play against you, right? Yes, he did run a 4.2, and that was the fastest speed in the draft. But the knock on him, he's too small. And I'm sitting there like, we've heard this before. This league got a long history of guys who wasn't the biggest, but they were game changers. Check this out. Wes Welker was 5.9. Steve Smith Sr. was 5.9. Darren Sproles was 5.6. Trendon Holiday was 5.5. Jaquez Rogers was 5.7. Wayne Dale Robinson was 5.8. Deuce Vaughn was 5.5. They all had different roles, different teams, but all of them made real impacts. So at some point, we've got to stop acting like size automatically limits people's production, because it don't. If you got speed like that, you can have an immediate impact. So this idea that a player can't contribute because he's not 6 feet tall, that's outdated thinking, right? And if you got speed, and we're talking 4.2 speed, if you got quickness, vision, and the ability to be able to make people miss, you can play in this league for sure. And when you got a quarterback like Justin Herbert, an offensive mind that knows how to throw people open, now that speed becomes dangerous. So I'm not worried about his size no more than I was worried about the other guys that I mentioned. I'm looking at what he brings to the field. And when you pair that with Justin Herbert and a play caller like Mike McDaniel, who knows how to design and attack defenses as well as anybody in the league, you're talking about explosive potential, right? You're talking about an offense that can become dangerous. Hello, what's up, good people? I launched my website a few days ago called SLM Expressions. It's not social media. It's a space to actually talk about any topic you want. I have a section where everybody could talk to everybody, and we can also reply to everybody. There's no filters. There's no pressure, no subscriptions, no sign up, no username, no password. It's all a free space. You can talk sports. You can talk life, music, whatever you like. Just come through and check us out. Say what's on your mind and be a part of the community. Drop a comment. Let me know you came through. Come talk to me at slmexpressions.com, and I hope to see you. The first 2 drafts under Joe Ortiz show a clear pattern. The Chargers are finding real value in the 5th round. In 2024, they landed 2 starting cornerbacks, Tarheeb Steele and Cam Hart. Then last year, they added a talented tight end in Oronde Gaston. Now, they may have struck gold again with defensive lineman Nick Barrett. Nick Barrett closed out his college career strong. He started all 12 games at South Carolina. He led defensive linemen with 42 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and added 2 sacks. He was tough to move in the run game, and he was tied for 10th nationally in run stops among defensive linemen. With 5 years of experience, he's coming in seasoned, and he's walking into a good situation, right? He joins a defensive line room with veterans like Tierre Tart and Dalvin Tomlinson, also an upcoming talent like Justin Boykby, who quietly gave you 6 sacks last season. Jamari Caldwell, who flashed as a rookie and played in all 17 games. Bottom line, the Chargers aren't just drafting in the 5th round. They're building. They're building something special. Now, with all that being said, I want to shift into something I've been seeing a lot of people talk about, and that's Jake Slaughter. There's been a lot of conversation about him transitioning from center, which he's played his whole life, to left guard. And for some people, that's a concern. So I want to make the case why I believe not only can he make that transition, but he can be just as good a guard as he was at center. Now, here's the reality. Every time a player get moved from their natural position, people start doubting it. They question it. They second guess it. But if you look at the history of the league, position changes don't always hurt people, right? Sometimes it unlocks potential people didn't know they had. For example, Chris Dillman. He came into the league as an undrafted defensive lineman for the Chargers in 2003. He spent his first 2 seasons as a backup, but he never saw the field. But in 2005, he switched to offensive line, and he became an all-pro guard. Stephen Neal didn't even play college football. He came in as a wrestler. But the Patriots saw the traits, the leverage, the balance, the strength, and they turned him into a key piece on a championship offensive line. Remember the Eagles' Jason Peters? He started as a tight end and a defensive player. He ended up becoming one of the most dominant left tackles in the league. I'm talking elite. Pat Ricard, former Ravens, now Giant. He came into the league as a defensive lineman. He made the transition and became an all-pro fullback. Different position, same impact. Even greater value, right? So here's where I disagree with some people. A position change don't always mean a player ain't good enough. Sometimes it means the coaching staff sees something more, right? A better fit, a better use of their skill set, maybe a higher ceiling. And when it comes to Jake Slaughter, moving from center to guard is not a major leap to me. You still work in the interior. You still understand protections. You still rely on technique and leverage, right, and strength. But here's the difference. Less responsibility for making calls and more focus on being physical and dominating the man in front of you. So if the coaching staff believe they see those traits, then it's not a risk, it's an opportunity. And history already tells us how this can go. Players don't fail because they change positions. Sometimes they succeed because they just do. So instead of asking why they're moving him, we should be asking, what do they see? Because if they're right, this story won't be about a position change. This story will be about a breakout. Jake Slaughter, you're up next. And that's what makes this so interesting to watch, because everything we've talked about today, from the draft to the direction this team is heading, to the decisions being made up front, it all comes down to development, right? Can they put these players in the right positions to succeed? Can they and will they finally protect Justin Herbert? Can they turn potential into production? We're going to find out soon enough. And as always, I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in and rocking out with me. Make sure you hit that like button, share this episode, and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget, pull up to slmexpressions.com. Join the conversation, check out everything I've got going on, and be a part of the community that I'm building over there, right? Until next time, this is Chargers Talk 4630. I'm Stacy, and we'll talk soon. Boat up.